I can find a book about fucking anything and about fucking anything. Hello and welcome to another episode of Cheap Smut. My name is Katie Mizell.
And my name is Max Joy.
And this is a podcast that has the shiver shakes right now. I feel like I have energy like a little Pomeranian. I'm just like, how are you?
Great. Now that we paused the show for 2 hours and came back and you cleaned the entire house. I'm kidding. We didn't do that. How are you?
That does sound like a good, like I would love to do that. I am good. I'm shaking, literally.
Yeah, I know. We're going to.
There's something wrong with me. I don't
know. As soon as we're done, you're just so excited to go for a walk with me and Himbo Jones.
Walkies.
You want walkies. I'm good. Now.
Yeah.
Last week, not great.
No.
Last
oh,
week.
Was it bad? Was it bad? This was a house of misery last week.
And here's the thing. If you would have been like, wow, God, what? I'm so sorry. What was it? And I just like, if we had cameras in our house, like those weirdos that have cameras in their houses, I would show it to you and you would just see a family existing.
Yeah.
But like internally.
Yeah. Screaming. Everything's on fire.
Everything's on fire, nonstop screaming.
Yep. What happened? Oh, I'll tell you what happened. We got the first snow. The gray is here to stay. Seasonal affective disorder is fucking real. And now I'm sad because I get less light in a day, much like a tree or something.
Yeah, exactly. So seasonal affective disorder is kicking in the joy brain.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But I started playing Fallout 4 again in Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna be okay. And I started listening to music from Bollywood and Tollywood movies again. So.
Oh yeah. Well, if that doesn't bring you joy, then what the fuck? Then
Man,
you do need to go find a therapist.
The 2018 version of Ankamare from Simba just fucks.
It slaps so fucking hard, man.
How are you?
Besides being a bouncy puppy,
yeah,
I'm pretty good, thank you. I am better today because we made it through our first weekend sickness with the children.
And it was, and I'm glad you brought that up because the thing that preceded it I wanted to talk about at some point during the show. But
yes.
So Thursday into Friday,
our kids started getting sick. First the boy and then the girl. Fevers, boogers. We don't know if it was a flu, if it may have been COVID, if we just stayed in the fucking house for 3-4 days just to we quarantine ourselves whenever we get sick, especially the kids because they're fucking disgusting. Little germ factories. I love them so much, but they can't keep their fingers out of their noses, so their hands are constantly covered in whatever illness. Anyway, they are officially through the worst of it, and we sent their butts to school.
Yeah.
And I am so happy to start cleaning up the sick bed that is our home.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have kids, you know how it is. Everybody gets shut down, and you're on low power mode.
Exactly.
The kids slept so much this weekend, but what preceded it was on Wednesday night. Our son was up super, super duper late because you took him to Grand Rapids to go see Stardew Valley Symphony of the Seasons.
Yes.
The music of Stardew Valley was performed by the Grand Rapids Symphony Orchestra.
Yes, the Grand Rapids Symphony Orchestra.
With a traveling conductor, and there's like a narrative element and that sort of thing. But it was the first time that our son got to make a connection between like the games that he loves and the music of the games and all the things that we love in terms of creativity and making things. And he never once asked to go home early. He had a blast the entire time. It was not his first concert experience. He was very clear. He's been on field trips where he's seen concerts.
Yes.
But it was his first like trip to the performance hall with mom or dad and his first symphony. And he got a t-shirt that is too big, but
it's gonna fit him for like 5 years.
I don't know, man. We were looking at him today, going, he's already up to your chest.
Yeah, he is, and he has Slenderman arms right now because he's going through a growth spurt, so he's about to get taller.
He's on the closer side. He's 7. He'll be 8 in April, and he's closer to 5 foot than he is 4.5 foot.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, we're both tall, but
we are
still.
And our younger daughter is also going through a growth spurt. You just said yesterday, you were like, she looks cut right now. You can see her muscles. She's got like a little baby 6-pack because she's all like growing parts, and she's so fucking strong.
And she's so much larger than the other children.
It's so
not tall.
Not taller. She just like me big baby. And it's so great. She's the gentlest, sweetest, funniest little soul, but she looks like Big Bertha compared to all the rest of the children, and I fucking love that.
Every day it looks like a first grader who was a delayed speaker is hugging all the pre-K kids.
I don't know.
Nope, it's just our
big
large
baby.
4-year-old.
Our big baby. God, I fucking love her.
The last week has been so miserable. I wanted to start the show by talking about things that were
joyful.
Happy.
Yeah.
Before we dove into the sad book. No, I'm kidding. This is not a sad.
It's not sad at all because it's still Ghostlight Fall.
Yeah, we did. We intended. We were well intentioned in getting a book out every week. We didn't do it. But we've still got this one and one more next week.
Yes.
Next week is the last week of Ghostlight Fall.
Yes, it is.
So with that said, what is the penultimate Ghostlight Fall book that we have on the docket for today?
Today, I am telling you the fantastic story of Defined and Defiled by Elsie LaPlante.
I love defining and defiling, so I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Let's get into it. So Defined and Defiled by Elsie LaPlante is a Ghostlight Falls novella, and it's priced like all the other Ghostlight Falls novellas. So currently that pricing model is $3.69 for an ebook, or free to borrow through Kindle Unlimited, $10.69 for a print-on-demand paperback. This is the first book I ever read from Elsie LaPlante, though I have heard her name in the circles, because once you're a weirdo smut writer or smut reader, I start to know who you are.
Yeah. I really wish you'd have said, this is the first book I ever read.
Ever. My whole life.
No, I can read.
I just don't.
Just when you put that many words together consecutively in a bound volume,
that makes me wonder what the previous 115 episodes of this show were about. If this is the first book I've ever read.
We just dropped a dime on ourselves.
That's
I've been reading the books and making the notes
the whole time.
Yep.
No. So Elsie LaPlante has one other series currently going, because whenever I read a new author, I always go and look and see what else they have, right? It's called the Hornucopia novellas series. And it is about, I can't tell if they're shifters or just sentient vegetables, and I fucking love that. One of them is, I believe, a squash, and the other one is an eggplant. Of course it is.
I was gonna say, if one isn't an eggplant, I think Elsie needs to have their author's license taken away.
Seriously. Also, in their author bio, Elsie says that if you, I think she, her pronouns, hold a cornucopia up to your ear, you can hear her complaining about capitalism. Which means we should be best friends forever and ever.
Fun fact, no matter what you hold up to your ear, I will complain about capitalism.
I will complain about capitalism. I will.
Take that 20-pound kettlebell.
Yep.
Fucking old shoe.
Yep.
Candle.
Just
I don't
me
care.
in the background. Fuck capitalism. I hate that I live in it. I hate that I can't tear it down with my own two hands, you know. Anyway, participate in capitalism and get Elsie's other books. Because we have to live in it, at least we should make it serve us, right?
Exactly.
Let's do the triple T's for Defined and Defiled. Yes. Our triggers: serial workplace harassment, that one guy you avoid at work functions, magic, accidental use of magic, non-consensual transfiguration, mild body horror, 90s references, and excessive puns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The puns were like S tier There were so many fucking puns. Holy shit, Elsie. For Tropes, this is an FM cis heterosexual romance between a human woman and a human man who has been turned into a magic book.
All right.
Okay. It is age gap, though both are over 25, and that's not particularly relevant to the story. He is like 25 years older than she is, though. All right. Supernatural small town, secrets, lies, and creepy janitors. And for our titillations, we have unique anatomy, sex with a sentient object, sex in public, sex in a car, oral sex, vaginal sex, double penetration. His tongue is the ribbon bookmark.
Just real quick, if this is your first episode of Cheap Smut,
welcome. Hi.
The triggers and the tropes, they can also be titillations.
They can. It depends on who you are specifically.
Because she said creepy janitors.
Yeah.
But then she went into the titillations.
Mm-hmm.
If you heard creepy janitor and then titillations and went, oh, that's okay. If you're into creepy janitors,
yeah,
go nuts.
I mean, this might not be the book for you if that's the case.
Yeah.
But I can find you a creepy janitor book, I swear.
All of the, not to continue to digress, but all the friends that we have that we always like, oh, we should have them on the show, and like have a book that is relevant to the very weird specific thing that they do.
Yeah,
I'm never skeptical that we won't find a book that is relevant to.
Seriously, I can find a book about fucking anything and about fucking anything.
Yeah,
I can find it. I swear. And if I can't, I know people who can.
Well, I've got a couple people who I got to reach out to get on the show. So we'll.
Fantastic. Please. Yes. Bring me guests. Let me terrorize them with smut. But for now, I'll just terrorize you. So we continue with Ghostlight Fall. And if you're new to Ghostlight Fall, I mean, hi, but why are you starting here?
Bienvenue.
There are 2 more episodes before this that will probably help you understand what's happening here. But if you don't want to go back, Ghostlight Falls is a supernatural small town near Portland, Oregon that is settled on ley lines. It is home to monster entrepreneurs, as I had to write down. Monsterpreneurs is a fantastic word.
You didn't have to.
I had to.
You didn't have.
I had to.
Oh, she said it twice.
Yeah. So monsterpreneurs, magicians, both good and not so good. They have a Jekyll and Hyde living map guy, escaped lab experiments. There's one single ambiguous tourist trap, one museum dedicated to an amphibian that lives nearby, and a bunch of people who live there to support all of those businesses. And some of those people have children. And if you have children, what else do you need?
There's also a Buc-ee's.
Not over there. It's in Oregon.
No. Not like, not the 2E.
Oh.
It's one that is very clearly ripping off. But the EE Buc-ee's is so fucking scared of them that they won't sue them.
They won't touch it.
They just they rolled into town with like their lawyers and they took one look at the Wonder Hole and they were like, is there one behind me? I don't even feel comfortable doing a 3-point. I'm gonna reverse
right on out of here. Ghostlight Falls authors, you're welcome to take that for yourself. There's a rip-off Buc-ee's in town, but no one can sue because they're too scared.
Please.
That's hilarious.
Thank you.
But for real, though, if you have children in a town, what else do you need?
Nothing.
What do the children need?
Oh, children? I don't care.
Where are our children right now?
Oh, I don't know. I thought that was your thing. I'm kidding.
Today's the day we learned that Max is an absolutely terrible father. He's like, you're just the trashiest husband.
No. When they're here, I'm great.
When they're gone, fuck them.
Couldn't tell you where they were.
For real, though. You need a school.
Yeah.
And there is a Ghostlight Falls public school. It is a single building. housing all 12 grades.
Oh, yeah. I have family that went to one of those schools.
Yeah, we all know that rural school.
Yeah.
It's got a graduating class of 6 every year or whatever, right? It's one of those.
The cousin that graduated the same year that I did graduated, I believe, in a class of 80.
Yeah.
80.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I graduated in a class of over 300.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to a very large public school.
And I was like 180. I graduated like 90 out of 180. I was the most mid fucking student.
I had a 3.9 something, and I remember being pissed because it could have been a 4.0.
Yeah.
But I'm bad at math.
And that's why it wasn't.
And that's why it wasn't. Because I am bad at math. I mean, I'm being very literal right now. I couldn't get my math grade up.
Oh, but she understood the irony because she was great in the liberal
I'm great
arts.
in the arts. Fucking solid in the humanities. Numbers? Who needs them?
Not my thing.
I suppose I could ask our FMC for help if I wanted to, because she is a teacher at this fine learning institution that is Ghostlight Falls Public School. She is Shirley Sumner.
All right.
Miss Sumner, or Shirley, is a 5th grade teacher. She is the 5th grade teacher. I'm sure they don't have more than one 5th grade class.
Yeah, just file in. No, we're not going to have that many next year.
Right. In the middle school wing of this school. And I think she's like at most about 30. She's a young teacher, but she's not fresh out of her student teaching young.
Yeah.
She has red hair, glasses, and she wears a giant cardigan like all the time. She is your grandma, but she's 30, you know?
Yeah.
Love her. We meet her at the school in the first chapter. Classes have already ended for the day, but of course she's still there because teachers are always working beyond their hours. And she is in the principal's office being dressed down by Principal Bailey, who has heard that she has been encouraging her students to cheat, which is not what she said. She clarifies. She said, if you're going to cheat, be creative, because I can spot your ChatGPT bullshit a mile away. Mm-hmm. That's what she said. And Principal Bailey's like, well, I guess it's all in the wording then, but I don't think it's too bad if the students get a little help every now and again. Do you? I guess he just really doesn't give a shit if students learn fucking anything or just ChatGPT rules the world.
Apparently not.
He then tells her that her financial proposal, her funding proposal that she submitted for the year for functional burners for the science classes has been rejected because they simply don't have the funding for it. That's not true. They have plenty of funding. He's just playing power games.
Oh, of course.
It's just what he does. They just got a new cafeteria, but Principal Bailey likes to turn people down just to see how long they'll keep coming back for more. Fuck this guy.
Real piece of work.
Real piece of work. She leaves Principal Bailey's office and she stops at the main desk to raid the candy dish and talk to Marge, the secretary. Marge is a geriatric old woman, you know, the kind of school secretary that literally runs this place on her back. She's dead. She's a ghost. She didn't stop coming to work. Quite literally choked on a piece of candy at her desk and was like, that's no excuse to not show up the next day. She still runs this place. And if she ever did decide to leave or if they like exorcised her, the whole institution would fall apart, I'm sure.
She just came right back and was like, fuck it, I just saved this district $50,000 on my salary.
She has very strong opinions about what does and does not constitute an excused absence.
I bet she does.
Seriously.
She's dead and she's still here.
So Marge encourages Shirley to sweet talk Mike the janitor in order to get access to the basement. And while she doesn't want to do this for 2 reasons. One, the school basement is strictly off limits and has been since the 90s after some kids went a little too meta after they saw The Craft.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And 2, because Mike is a creep and she doesn't really want to talk to him if she can help it, let alone sweet talk him in any way.
Yeah, that's not a superlative I want to put in front of any talking I want to do to a creepy janitor named Mike.
Yeah, but
Shit talk.
Shit talk him. There you go. We could shit talk him.
I'd shit talk him all day.
Is he into degradation? I could break his little heart.
There you go.
But no, she needs to sweet talk him apparently in order to access the basement, because there are a bunch of old supplies down there that have just been down there since it was locked up in the 90s. She could raid it, maybe find something actually useful for her students, because apparently the principal doesn't care if they learn English or science at this point. She's going to have to do this by herself. Mike the janitor is your quintessential creepy, grimy janitor. Think of a white man named Mike in a stained polo. He's probably got a weird mustache to go with it all. You know, he's just not great. Mike is a little too interested in Shirley for her comfort, but she thinks that he is otherwise harmless. And if he can get her basement access, then she will pretend to say maybe to going out to dinner at Ratcliffe's later. Although there's no fucking way you get her to drive across town on a school night. And who's got Ratcliffe's money? I mean, come on. I work at a public school. Like, everything about this woman's life is like, I am so broke. I am barely functioning right now.
And she can't expense it.
Seriously. To whom would you expense that shit? They go down to the basement. It is dark, dusty, creepy, all the things that you expect a school basement that hasn't been touched in 30 years to be. But she does manage to find a box labeled 5G Sci. And she's like, score, 5th grade science stuff, maybe. And it's buried under a pile of other stuff. She goes to like pull it out from that pile, and the whole pile collapses on top of her. And when she reorients herself, she can't breathe because there is a giant book settled on her chest. Mike is spooked. He wants to leave, but she gets him to leave, asking for some water or something so that she can pilfer through these boxes really quick while he's gone, because she doesn't want him to know that she's stealing stuff, right? She gets away with a ton of stuff, a bunch of like plastic flasks, a brand new box of never before opened safety goggles, like really great stuff. But some of it she has to shove under her shirt, which makes a weird boxy shape. So to protect that, she picks the book up and puts it in front of her chest. And she kind of thinks she hears a muffled sound, like something like talking, when she puts it up to her chest. But Mike is back, and he's all concerned. And he's trying to give her water, but it's not from a sealed container. It's from his own personal water bottle. And she's like, absolutely not. No, thank you.
Why would you do that? Why would you offer?
Seriously. Instead, I want let's just go. And she goes to leave, and he's like, why do you have that book? And she's like, book gods forgive me, rips a page out, kind of thinks she hears something go, but she's too busy trying to make up a lie right now. She says that it was damaged when it fell on her. She is going to take it to the local bookstore and have them repair it and then bring it back, because she doesn't want any evidence that they were down here, because it's strictly forbidden, right? So we can't have any evidence. She just lies her way through this and sweet talks him a little bit with phrases like, it can be our little secret, and gets him and that book out of the basement. When she gets to her car, which is a barely functional shit box that like the windows are permanently down. It's got like a twice rebuilt tranny. It's just an awful piece of machinery. She gets in to head home, and she turns on her audiobook for the drive, and she's listening to something that's clearly not a Sarah J. Maas book, right? But it is, because it's called like A Court of Dicks and Flowers. And she gets to a spicy scene, and she hears somewhere in the car, damn. And she looks around for someone outside the car, because again, the windows are permanently down. Somebody might just be hearing this from the outside, but there's nobody there. She continues her drive. The book continues to play. The MMC fucks the FMC like the good little witch she is. And she for sure hears, damn, from somewhere in the car. And she's not sure what the fuck is going on, but she thinks maybe she's on a phone call. Doesn't realize she butt dialed somebody. So she goes to reach for her phone. She knocks it off of the passenger seat. So she's like she's driving with her knees. And don't fucking do
Shirley,
that.
no.
Please, Shirley, no. Shirley. And so she's driving with her knees. She's digging around in her floorboards for her phone. And she hears from her passenger seat, you might want to keep your eyes on the road. And she looks over and she finds that book which is a dictionary, by the way. It's like it's one of those beautiful, unabridged, looks like it should be sitting on a podium in the library kind of dictionaries, right? Has a face in it. Not Carter O'Graphy style, like magic mirror style, like there's a screen and then a head floating in the abyss behind it. She sees that, screams. He screams, "Eyes on the road!" And she looks up to see that Sheedy's stationery, the unstationary stationery store that constantly moves around, has for some reason manifested in the middle of the road. It doesn't usually do that. It usually stays away from like major thoroughfares, but she doesn't have anything to do except crank the wheel and run the shitbox into a tree. It's either that or the side of Sheedy's.
The insurance on Sheedy's there's got to be,
I swear to Christ,
some kind of indemnity clause.
Who would insure Sheedy's stationery? I have no idea. Oh, if you want to know more about Sheedy's stationery, read Paper and Passion by Sabrina Cross. I think Sabrina wrote that one. That one is about the woman who works at Sheedy's. So you'll find out more about why this fucking place just moves constantly. And it's probably nothing more than a joke about the word stationary.
Yeah. But that's how we found out that it's actually the land that's insured and not the property.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's a problem. No. Oh, no.
Or the physical building. You didn't read the fine print.
Yikes, bikes. So our lot's insured forever, but the building itself, not so much. Anyway, so she hits this tree. The paramedics come. They give her a clean bill of health. She's got to get the car to a mechanic, but it runs okay still. You can barely tell the old dings from the new dings, and she just gets back in the car and finally has an opportunity to look at this book. And yeah, there's a face in the book. And she asks if it is okay. And he's not particularly happy. Like, the floating head in the book is a man. That's the only thing that we know about him right off the bat. And he is super not pleased. He is not pleased to have been in a car wreck. He's not pleased to have been kidnapped. He's not pleased to have been ripped on purpose. And other than that, he doesn't know anything about who he is or where he's from or why he is a book, though he's pretty sure he hasn't always been a book. He has pretty distinct memories of suddenly being a book and then nothing for apparently until she picked him up again. Crazy. I don't remember exactly when we get a description of the guy in the book, so I'm just going to give it to you right now. He looks like Will Smith at the peak of his Fresh Prince days.
In my brain, for some reason, I was going to shoot from the hip Wilder Valderrama.
Wilmer Valderrama.
And you said Will.
God.
I went, oh!
Wilmer Valderrama.
Just, again.
That would have been a good one.
No fucking clue why my brain does what it does.
He looks like Will Smith peak Fresh Prince. So the high flat top, the skinny mustache, even the hoop earring.
Got it.
If you didn't have a crush on Will Smith at some point during the 90s, that tells me a lot about you. Because I sure did. Will Smith is a handsome man, right? So, and he does look apparently about the same age as her, though we do learn later that he's just ageless now because he's in a book. He is otherwise a very fancy book with like leather binding, and he's got filigreed edges and like little metal thingies on the corners. He's also got the S doodled on his cover.
You know the S.
You know the S. You do. Everybody's drawn it. 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines. You make the Superman S. It's doodled on his cover. Obviously a defacement, not a feature, right? That she takes him home and she shares a very humble bungalow on the edge of town with her ex-girlfriend, Twyla. She fell for Twyla and moved across the country to be with her in like 2 weeks. They straight up U-Haul lesbianed that shit. Twyla is an incredible person, but eventually they realized that this was not right. That, however, is not a good enough reason to give up your security deposit. So they still live together. And she's at first worried that she's going to have to sneak this book into her house because Twyla put a moratorium on antiquing after the last time she brought home a cursed object. So if she brings home another cursed object, Twyla's going to be really mad. But thankfully, Twyla is not home when they get there. So she takes him inside and she puts him up on a high shelf because she has this insane muddy bulldog of a dog named Melon, and she's like, if you're anywhere near Melon, she'll bite you or piss on you. She's never done anything wrong in her life. She just loves to bite things and piss on things. I can't. She's my baby, right? She's my baby. Anyway, she leaves the book on the shelf to go and take Melon out and to give the reader sort of a general sense of what her house is like right now, which is the house of a drowning teacher who can barely function right now. She takes Melon out to the exact same 3 trees that she pisses on every single time. God bless. And when she returns, she comes back to the kitchen to talk to the book, and the book is not on the shelf where she left it. She's like, hello? And he's like, up here, look up. She looks up and he is flying. That S on his cover is glowing gold, and it's apparently giving him the ability to fly. Why? I don't know.
I don't care why. I don't.
Because the super S gives you the ability to fly. That's why, I guess. So
the S stands for soar.
The S stands for Superfly, according to him.
Oh, okay.
They chat about this new magical skill and about anything else that he might remember, which again is not much. He now remembers that he went down to the basement looking for a group of students, and it was the students who did this to him. Nothing much else beyond that. He also remembers that his name was Richard. And then she starts laughing because Richard Dictionary. This is fun. We stand a pun queen, I guess, because it just keeps going from there. She then agrees to help him sort of test some stuff about himself as a book. First thing he wants to know is, if you open my pages, does my face come out or does it like stay on the cover? It stays on the cover, just like smushed up against her leg while she's flipping through the pages.
That answers that.
Yeah, right? He was hoping that it would project out, but no such luck. Then she starts flipping through the pages, and he is the legitimate dictionary, exactly as you would expect. And she gets to the word adore, the definition and all that, and there is a little doodle next to the word adore that says ZB plus CH for Eva inside of a little heart. And those letters, that doodle, is glowing gold the same way the Superman S did. He kind of ruffles his pages like he can sense that there's something like, oh, that feels like something. I want to try to do whatever it is. And she's like, well, there's a doodle here. And he's like, fuck it, let's let it rip. And she's, I don't know about that, but it's too late. It starts glowing super bright. And then there is a very like warm, kind of floaty, bubbly sensation, and she feels really warm, and he's like, is something happening? And she's like, yeah, something's happening, all right, something's fucking happening, all right. And she shuts it. She shuts the book, the spell stops, and she's like, okay, so maybe no more firing the horny ray, because that's what that was. Apparently it turns your amorous intent up to 11. And we're starting to learn that the doodles in Richard are magic spells, and each one he can activate does something else. The S makes him fly. The adore doodle apparently makes you horny. They then go through what else they have learned for the evening. He has a book who was once a man. His face does not move from the cover. His pages have feeling and sensation. He's got a doodle inside of him that makes you horny. And he is still feeling the effects of that because he is also subject to those spells. She then asks him if he wants to continue with these experiments. Yes, they end up deciding the next thing they're going to try is kissing. What happens if she kisses him? And he agrees to that. And so she picks him up and she kisses him. And at first it's like kissing a boy band poster, you know. We've all kissed a magazine, right? And then there's a sort of sensation of giving way. And then it kind of feels like she's making out with someone from behind a dental dam or saran wrap or something. Until he gets his tongue involved, he pushes his tongue like sort of through that barrier almost. There's a pop kind of sensation. And now he's just a man. It's just now she's just making out with a man, and they continue to do that. She's making out with a floating book right now. Yeah. Until her
Paging
dog
Dr.
bites
Tingle.
her ankle. Like, bitch, you're making out with a floating book right now. Maybe you should stop that. And they separate, and she goes to bed. They eat dinner. They wonder exactly how he eats at some point in this story, and the answer is that she describes food to him, and that kind of fills his tummy and satisfies his taste buds. I don't know. At one point they go to the bakery and she describes a cupcake to him, and he really enjoys that. That's great. I love that for him. They then go to bed. They wake up the next morning. She takes him to work with her, but not before covering up the horny spell, like with a Post-it note. Like, we're just not going to risk that shit. I'm going to a school. Can't risk that. She gets through morning drop-off and into her class, where she immediately has to fend off this rabid, animal-loving 5th grader who has heard that another middle school class is getting their own spadefoot, and why can't we get our own spadefoot too? And she has placed Richard on the desk face down, trying to keep him a secret from these children, while she's fielding question after question after question. None of her excuses are landing. This girl will get that fucking toad. This little girl wants a fucking class pet, and she will get it, until eventually Richard is like, screw this, and he floats. He just starts floating. Now, these are Ghostlight Falls children, so they're not going to be put off by a floating book. They're all a little excited about it. And eventually the yarn that they spin is, we're not getting a class spadefoot, because instead I got us a class helper. This is Mr. Richard. He's way cooler than a toad, right? Yes, he is. And then mostly what they want to know is whether or not he has any games. I mean... They're children of the 21st century. They just want to know whether or not they can play Subway Surfers on Mr. Richard.
I was going to say, can we play games on you?
Seriously. They then get on to the day in the teaching. Richard turns out to be an incredible helper. He's an excellent addition to the classroom. He's very good with the students. And he's very capable as a teaching assistant, all the way up until lunchtime, when Shirley then shuffles all the children down to the cafeteria and then stops in the teacher's lounge to try and steal. I think she was trying to steal creamer and K-cups, like just broke behavior. You know, I just need some K-cups and creamer if I can get it. But no, there are other teachers in there, so she has a brief conversation with, I think, the art teacher and a 2nd grade teacher or something like that. When she finally gets back to her classroom, Richard is in there, and he is surrounded by a group of boys. Apparently one of her students told his brother, and his brother didn't believe him, so then they had to come down and see for themselves, and then they got a bunch of other kids involved, and they all are like surrounding Richard. And he seems to be in his element. He seems to be really good with directing the inquisitive energy of little boys, in particular, but students. He's got that teacher energy. Yeah. Right? Eventually, Shirley gets them all to leave the classroom by saying, if you want to talk to Mr. Richard, you have to come to homework helpers, which happens after school. Get out of my classroom. At the end of the day, when homework helpers happens, it is the best attended homework helpers in the entire time Shirley has been at this school. Most everybody came just to see the floating book guy, but it does turn out he is an excellent teacher, and a lot of the students really respect him for the way that he speaks to them and the way he guides them through learning, as opposed to being a strict, like, meanie about it. By the time that is done, Richard has not really remembered much more about his life from the past, but he now knows, you know what? I think my thing was math. I think I really enjoyed the numbers. I think my thing was math. And she's like, that's on you then. That's 5th grade is pretty much where I stop on math.
If I don't have to teach it, I don't need to know it.
She takes him back to her car. They drive home, but Twyla is there, and she's like, I can't yet. I just can't with the talking book and my ex-girlfriend quite yet. So let's go get a burger and fries and go to, she goes and parks in the woods behind the Spadefoot Museum just so they can like eat and chat in a private place. They decide that what they're going to do is go and talk to Marge tomorrow. Once Richard is like, Marge is still there? And Shirley is like, yeah, nothing stops Marge from showing up to work, not even an actual coronary. They then decide that she's going to leaf through his pages some more, look for other doodles. Because if he's going to be coming to the school, he really enjoys going to the school and being a teacher. They can't have an accidental fucking weird spell going off somewhere.
I was going to say, the kids are horny enough on their own. Well, no, wait, this is elementary school. I'm thinking of like high school.
Middle school.
Middle school. Never mind. Oh, good.
They're not horny. They're just angry and confused.
Yeah, then we don't need to add that.
We don't need to add anything onto that at all. Because if you put all those chemicals inside of that aged brain, I don't think they would get particularly horny. I think they would just
shut
like
down.
Eat a couch or something. They just go feral.
I totally forgot you said fifth grade so many times.
I did. Many times. Fifth graders and middle schoolers. Yeah. So she starts leafing through the pages looking for more spells. They find a doodle near the word capture that they decide not to fuck with, obviously. And then when they get to the word erect, there is a very intricate doodle of a very inaccurately portrayed double dick situation. Lovingly like somebody put a lot of time into what is not a human penis on this page, and she can't bring he's like, what did you find? And she's like, she can't bring herself to describe what she's seeing. She's like, why don't you just activate it? And she just like sets him on the seat like facing forward. She's like, just activate it if you want to know what it is. And he tries and he has a difficult time with it, and then eventually he's like, Shirley, will you please close my cover? I think you need to close my cover. And when she closes the cover, those two dicks pop right out the front of him.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a double dick situation. The longer, thinner one is on the bottom. The shorter, thicker one is on top. They are made out of parchment, looks like pages, and they are detailed with words. So the veins are like smudged words, and like all the shadows are like smudged ink. And when any liquid comes out of him, it is ink. But I thought this was kind of cool. When it drips down, it doesn't like drip off. It's almost like an animated thing, like a really cool style of comic book animation or something. I thought it was great. Elsie, I loved it. Carl's making a face like he did not love it. I loved it. Okay,
it's a bit body horror adjacent.
It is a bit body horror adjacent, but think of Into the Spider-Verse. If it were porn and there was like really cool texture elements happening, that's what's happening right now.
Oh, no, I understand.
I know. I'm just going off because I think it's neat. I love it. I love it to death. So he has two of these, again, stacked on top of each other vertically, and we got to test, right? We got to test and see if they're functional, right? Like can they feel stuff? If I touch it like this, does it? Oh yeah, obviously. So she asks if she can figure out exactly what is going on with these dicks. She just wants to know what's happening, right? And they got to know more for like horny science. She asks him, she gets his permission, full consent. She puts her front seat back and like lays him flat and then straddles over the book. And she thinks that he's going to get like right to the main event. She strips off in that awkward way that you have to strip off in a Nissan or whatever. And she thinks he's going to get right to the main event. But no, he eats her out with his ribbon, which was crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Because he has the ability to sort of like bend it and like fold it over itself like you're like a really intricate clover tongue situation, and use that as a sort of different texture and a different thickness. And man, was it creative. Super duper loved it. He's also really into the idea of enjoying yourself and taking your time. So every time she gets too close, he stops and she's like, what the fuck, man? He's like, you deserve to enjoy and savor this. Come on, man. Let's savor this. Come on, you and me savoring it. And eventually she ends up riding him. Just the bottom dick, and the top dick is like rubbing on her clit, and he's using his ribbon, and it's fantastic. And again, edging until eventually she breaks and she begs, and that's the end of that. They come happy, screaming, good times. As he is fucking her, he's like flapping his top cover to move, and so it's like smacking her in the butt every time. That's so fucking funny. I loved that. That was hilarious. It was so good. Just the idea of a book fucking you with just by flapping its top cover. It's so funny.
The mind reels.
It's great. It's so good. So when they're finished with all that, she does actually have to ask him if he finished, and he's like, yeah, because there's like a big ink stain on him. Also fantastic. Loved that. They eventually clean themselves up and they head home. They can't avoid Twyla forever, but they have now determined that they can doodle more stuff in him. Mm-hmm. And so by the word man, doodles a little stick man. And when they go into the house and Twyla sees this floating book and she's like, what did I tell you about cursed objects? Come on. Shirley's like, he's not a cursed object. Look. And he grows limbs, but he is a fucking stick man with a book for a head. And that is the scariest shit I have ever heard in my entire life.
I fucked him too.
So for real. Because right now, all he is a stick man with a book for a head, which means that if the dicks come out, they're coming out of his face. That is so weird. I love it. It's so funny. But Twyla is very chill. She's like, oh, you're not a cursed book. You're a man. And you just happen to be, okay, nice to meet you. I think she does the whole ex-girlfriend threat, like hurt her and I'll burn you in your book kind of thing. But she was remarkably chill through all of this. And I would have been lighting him on fire.
Yeah. I was going to say, you have to
Stick man, no thanks.
No.
That's beyond my bounds. The next morning, at school, she has to duck Mike, who is apparently very anxious to get the book back down into the basement for some reason. He is pushy about it. And she makes up a bunch of reasons why she can't do it. And eventually she agrees to do it after school. And then he's still pushing this idea of going to Ratcliffe's after that. He really wants to have this dinner with her. And she's like, you need to give a harder no. Okay? Mm-hmm. Shirley, listen to me. You need to give this man the hardest no you can. Okay? Because right now you're giving soft maybes to be nice. That's not how this is going to work.
No.
Hard no's. Anyway, they eventually get around Mike. They go into the main office to talk to Marge. And Marge is very displeased that Mr. Diction, his name is Richard Diction. Dick Diction, the dictionary.
I was going to say, I hope it's like Shanary.
I know. His name is Mr. Diction.
Yeah.
Is very, very late. He has not shown up for work in 30 years. I mean, and she's like, you never even picked up your last paycheck. You didn't call out sick, nothing. And he's like, Marge, I was transformed into a magic tome here. And she's like, that is absolutely no excuse. You could have at least figured out how to put in your 2 weeks notice. Because again, Marge has a very different acceptable standards for why you don't show up to work. Mr. Diction should have showed up on Monday as a book as far as she is concerned. So she gives him his last paycheck, and they also go into Principal Bailey's office to get into the yearbook archives to get out the yearbook from the year that Mr. Diction disappeared, which was, I think, like 1995 or something. They then have to go to get to class because classes are starting, but they will look through that yearbook together later and try and figure out which students it is that Mr. Diction remembers being the ones who cursed him and turned him into this book in the first place. In the classroom, everything goes great in the morning. Obviously, the kids super love Mr. Diction, or Mr. Rich is what they call him. They get through the morning, and then eventually it is art day. So Cammie, the art teacher, wheels in her big art supply cart thing, and they now have an hour to go fuck off and do what they want to do with this yearbook. Before they leave, though, Shirley asks Cammie if she would please take her artistic skills to draw something for her in Richard. And Cammie's like, yeah, absolutely. Why don't we go get drinks after work at Kyle's and I'll draw whatever you want. Absolutely. They go to the car again as just their private place to look at this yearbook, and they flip through all of the clubs that Richard was involved in. And the first one, they don't find anything, but the second one, the AV club, they see a picture of Richard between a young Principal Zachary Bailey and a young janitor Mike Fleming. Although in the picture, he is labeled as Matt Fleming, not Mike Fleming. And that shouldn't be possible because Mike is her age. Mike is Shirley's age. And Principal Bailey is a solid 10 years older than that. And Mike was, and Richard is obviously a full-grown adult beyond them. So none of these ages and things are really matching up correctly. But they do know one thing for sure, and that is that Richard recognizes the face of the student who cursed him. It is Mike, the creepy janitor. They make a plan, and the first step of that plan is to get Richard out of Shirley's possession as soon as possible. So she takes him to Cammie and says, hey, hold on to my book until I can meet you at Kyle's later. And then everything will be fine, obviously. She then gets through the rest of the school day and waits for Mike to come to her classroom because she has promised him that they will be taking the book downstairs today. For whatever reason, even though she's not carrying the book, he still takes her down into the basement. I think she just sweet talks her way into getting down there again. And while she knows in her heart of hearts that she should not let this person take her to a secondary location, she is after information, and she is going to get that information in the form of a couple of monologues from Mike, because of course, once you get him talking, he can't fucking stop. And he basically tells her that he and his coven were down here in the 90s working on some complicated spell. They were calling up like scholarships and perfect grades and job offers. They were just trying to make their lives better. And Richard just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time by walking into the basement while they were in the middle of this spell. Mike tried to warn Richard, but by breaking the spell, by talking to Richard, the spell backfired and blew apart. When he regained consciousness, Mike found that he had regressed 10 years in age. And the only other person around was Zachary Bailey. They didn't know what happened to Richard until about the time the talking magic book showed up at the school, right? And then they realized what was happening. Mike then spent the next however long trying to fucking survive because he was suddenly in like a 7-year-old's body and he couldn't go to school. He couldn't go to college. He couldn't find a job. I don't actually know how he lived.
This just
yeah. Honestly, I don't care. I fucking love it. I think it's great because you know what this is? This is the plot to Sky High.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I fucking love it. It's amazing. So
I'm not overthinking the fuck book. I'm not overthinking the fuck book.
Don't overthink the fuck book. Never overthink the fuck book. So she gets him to tell her all of this. Eventually, he says that all they need to do is get Richard back into the basement to cover all of this back up again, right? This is all just, they need to cover it all back up again as Principal Bailey wants. Zach Bailey is kind of in charge of all of this now. I still don't understand why. I think it's just because he's shitty.
Yeah.
I think it's just because a white man in a suit has to be the bad guy, and it's Zach Bailey. And he shows up on the scene shortly after that. Shirley refuses to participate, refuses to go get Richard, refuses to bring him to the basement, and Zach is suddenly like walking out of the shadows like, that's very unfortunate to hear, Shirley, or whatever. And he threatens her, and she's yelling, and she's like, Richard wasn't the only teacher who went missing that year. What are you doing? What is up? What's happening? And Bailey says, I know you're more of a visual learner, so why don't I just show you instead of tell you? And he goes to grab her, but before anything bad can possibly happen, there's Deus Ex art teacher because Cammie is now down the stairs. I don't know where she came from or why she concluded she needed to come to the basement right now, but we thank her for it because she's carrying Richard with her. She shouts into the room like, Zachary, stop it. Apparently she's been friends with Mr. Bailey and Mike since they were all in high school together. And that gets everybody to pause long enough for Richard to activate the spell that is his new body, because Cammie has drawn him into an actual book boyfriend. Har har. He is hunky, he's cut, he looks again like he's made out of paper, and all of his like lines and dimensions are filled out with smudgy words. It's very cool. I love the character design of this. And all he does is reach out and open hand slap Zachary in the face so hard that he passes out. Like, that's just all there was to it. He was like, And that was the end of that. He asks then that Cammie and Shirley please leave the basement because he would like to activate the capture doodle. He doesn't know exactly what's going to happen, though, so he would prefer if they were not in the room. And it turns out that it's just a big fucking cage. And they're now enclosed in that cage, and they will figure out what to do with them next. That will involve getting Marge to come on down here, because who else is going to take care of this except for Marge, right? She is holding this school up by the foundation. Anyway, that's the end of that. Shirley calls a rain check on going to get drinks with Cammie because, yes, she did promise her drinks in exchange for drawing Richard. But, you know, a lot has happened this evening, and now I need to go and figure this out. She and Richard then leave the school, and they go to fuck about it in the sky because...
Yes, please tell me why.
So now that Richard has a body, he can hold on to her. So when he activates the Super S, he can fly her around like Lois Lane and Superman, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I am vaguely unclear as to whether or not the book itself is larger now, because some of the description made it seem like when they activate this spell, his whole torso becomes the book or something. And then I don't know. Either way, while they are flying, he's talking to her, and the way that she is like grappled up against him, all four limbs, just trying not to die, has him like rumbling in her nether parts in ways that are very pleasant to her. They land very briefly on somebody's roof. Who? I don't know. But she leaves her panties and tights there because it's better to fly unfettered, I guess. So congratulations to whoever's fucking roof that was.
Yeah, you think you hate it when somebody turns around in your driveway?
Seriously. When they land on your roof.
And then fuck.
And then fuck and then leave.
And then leave their dirty dungarees.
So they weren't fucking. They just took off the underwear and then left to go do the fucking somewhere else. But they eventually do get to the fucking. So first he eats her out again with his ribbon. And then there is a double penetration scene. The smaller dick goes in the back end. We appreciate that very much. Thank you. And they're like floating above the city as this is happening. They're like way up in the air. And I want to say that the last line in the chapter is that Ghostlight Falls is even more beautiful when you're full of cock. I really want to think, I think that is, and that's fucking hilarious. Elsie, I love you. That is the end of Ghostlight Falls, book number whatever, Defined and Defiled. There is a short epilogue, but in that epilogue, all that happens is that while they are sorting through the basement, finding more stuff to take upstairs, more supplies, they find a student who has also been missing this whole time in another box. What is she in that box? Anything about it? I don't know. That's just a little cliffhanger for you at the end. And that was Defined and Defiled. Thank you.
I'm still trying to figure out why nobody helped a 7-year-old that just suddenly appeared. Ghostlight Falls.
That was my question too, because
that is the biggest mystery. That is the BBC sad British crime procedural story that you tell in Ghostlight Falls. You get David Tennant and Olivia Colman.
Oh my God.
And it's
who is this 7-year-old boy?
Yeah.
Where did he come from?
The poster, it's just, where is Mike?
Yeah.
And at the bottom, it's like it's just.
At the time, it was Matt. At the time,
Matt,
it was Matt.
Where is Matt?
Where is Matt?
And then it's like a beach, and it's just David and.
Yep.
David and Olivia.
Yep. Absolutely, I would watch that. I would.
Everything else is the wacky, fun, paper dicks and
inky cum.
Yeah.
And then there's just this.
Nobody wants to know where a 17-year-old. So not only did
brooding Brits on the beach.
17-year-old disappeared.
Seriously, I don't know.
A 7-year-old appeared.
That's what it sounded like.
And then 2 British people showed up and were sad.
Elsie, I am not poking holes in your story.
No, not at all.
Truly, I am not. Because again, this is the plot of Sky High.
Yes.
And if I bought it then, I buy it now. And it's not just because that character was played by Mary Louise Winstead.
Again, we're not. I assume you mean Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
That one.
You Mary Louise Parker.
Mary Louise Parker, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. All you motherfuckers named Mary.
Yeah.
Damn you, the Catholic Church.
We are not poking holes.
Never.
This is just a mystery that will never be solved.
And I don't need to know the answer. I really don't.
It's okay. Sometimes it's fun to not know. I'm kind of into it.
Hey! Okay. You're asking what I'm into?
Yeah.
All right. I have to look up the name of it really quick. Give me just a second.
Ugh, you've had all day. All day.
This is kind of weird, but it's the thing that has been bringing me the most joy over the last couple of days. So it's what I'm into. I am into these storytelling concept videos that I have found on YouTube called Minecraft ARGs. ARGs. Yeah. These are not ARGs. In no way are they ARGs, because an ARG is an augmented reality game, right? A game that you play with and by, through a computer. That's not what this is. What these are metaphysical horror short stories, short films that use Minecraft as their animation layer and their context layer, right? You already know Minecraft. You already know the world of Minecraft. You already know how it works. So when I introduce concepts like the American Department of Metaphysical Science and say that something weird is happening inside of Minecraft, and we're not sure if it's because there's something living in there in a sort of eldritch horror way, or if it's because the government is conducting secret experiments to break the human psyche, or if it's because a little boy is secretly using his 30 minutes a day of Minecraft time to tell you that he has been kidnapped and is living in a basement. These things are wild. They're wild. And I honestly don't really remember how I got to them. But what makes me love them is that they are a representation of the undying human need to tell stories. They are another branch on the human storytelling tree. I love them so much. They're very obviously fictional, but they are presented like found footage, like documentaries. There is a voiceover that's telling you what's happening and kind of helping you piece these things together. And again, they're all fictional. They're very SCP style, like creepypasta meta horror, the horror of the internet, right? But they're great. They're great because they are this fantastic representation of human storytelling. I love them. I do. I love them. So the two that I watch the most are the YouTube channel Weefies. It's spelled Wifeys, Wifies, but it's pronounced Weefies. And then the other one is Zacko Builds. And Zacko Builds did the first one I ever saw that was so good. It's what made me fall down this rabbit hole to begin with. So maybe I'll have you link that video.
Yeah.
And that is what I am into. These crazy little bite-sized metaphysical horror stories on YouTube. What are you into, my love?
There are few things that have been in my life and have brought me joy for as long as you. We've been together for 17 years now.
Yes.
But one of those things has been around almost as long as you have in general, and that is
whole life.
Mystery Science Theater.
Hell yes.
3000.
You're goddamn right.
It is when we started dating. I don't remember when I introduced it to you. I don't know that I introduced it to you, but
you did.
Okay,
you did, and you introduced them to me probably through their internets. But we probably watched them on YouTube on a computer at some point, and through your box set because we used to have to watch them on DVD.
That's true. It's a show that was on the Comedy Channel, Comedy Network, the Sci-Fi Channel, back when that was still around. It started in the late 80s, created by Joel Hodgson. It morphed into this wonderful, unique thing. If you don't know what it is, I will link to it. But the premise was they would watch terrible movies, and then one human and two robots would make fun of them. And there's no way to explain to you how virtually all comedy that you know, I mean, that you could almost demarcate like pre and post Mystery Science Theater. Like it is that influential. It has touched so many lives. And created this comedy network. And it's such a simple premise. and I fell in love with it when I was a teenager. And it's all that at the end of every episode, they say keep circulating the tapes because people used to tape them and trade them. And now they're on YouTube all the time. There's literally a Mystery Science Theater channel that is nonstop running over 200 episodes. They rebooted it in like 2017, 2018 with Jonah Ray.
They ran a fabulous Kickstarter that raised a ton of money.
Multiple Kickstarters. Yes.
I can't believe, more than anything, I'm really happy that this idea is still like printing money for those people.
Oh yeah,
for everybody who's involved, because Joel is still an executive producer on the show, and everybody who has ever been involved, I think they try to keep them involved as much as they can if they want to be. You know, it's wonderful.
For the Netflix version, they brought back Mary Jo Pehl, Bill Corbett, Kevin Mallon, or not Kevin Murphy, Bill Corbett, and Mary Jo Pehl. Yeah, and then, of course, that birthed Cinematic Titanic and riff tracks because some of the crew went off. I think Frank Conniff and Mary Jo Pehl and Trace Beaulieu did Cinematic Titanic. I could go on, but this past weekend they posted it's like a 9-hour, it's some of their greatest hits, some of the best episodes. So I'm going to link that. You obviously don't have to watch all 9, but if you were to pick out any one of the episodes on that collection, you will not be disappointed. I don't know if I can't remember if Final Sacrifice is in there, but Overdrawn at the Memory Bank, Mitchell, Hobgoblins,
so many good
Manos,
ones.
The Hands of Fate.
I love Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's a little difficult to watch sometimes because you can tell that they've been recording it since before certain things were okay to joke or were no longer okay to joke about.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you'll be watching something and going, "Oh, guys, no." Like Puma Man. I fucking love the Puma Man.
Yeah.
It's one of the best episodes. It's so funny. But any joke they make that is about the woman in Puma Man is just that she's dumb and pretty. Those aren't jokes, guys.
Yeah, that is 30 years ago.
Yeah. What is she wearing right now? That's a joke.
Yeah. Look at what they're all wearing.
What are they wearing?
They do comment on Donald Pleasance and the other male character, like something about like sauna suits.
How did she get her hair to look like that? That's a joke. That's a question worth asking. How'd she get her hair to look like that? But I'm stupid and pretty is not a joke.
No. So yeah, there are a lot of jokes about especially Future War. You know, the two heavyset guys. A lot of jokes about weight and that sort of thing. So some of the older episodes do not stand up in that regard. But I think that is so minuscule.
It is. It's not like I'm going to stop watching the Puma Man.
100% no.
It's worth watching.
You have to be aware of it.
Yeah.
The new versions do not have that as much because they are written through a more contemporary.
Yeah. Well,
filter.
I mean, if nothing else, the jokes are written by a more diverse group of comedians.
100%.
I mean, it used to be just 3 white guys.
Yeah.
And occasionally Mary Jo Pehl.
Yes.
And now it's not just 3 white guys.
No, it's not.
And that's better.
And again, I could go on and on, but we got to put this baby to bed. So what do we have wrapping up? Do you know what we're wrapping up Ghostlight Fall with? Okay.
So next week, I am reading Bred by the Grimm, which is Dakota Cockaday's story. And it is about a gremlin.
Yeah.
As in, he gets weird after midnight.
Oh, boy.
That one also comes with its own supplementary short story that doesn't have any spice in it and is apparently about the animals or something. Sounds fun. I'll be reading both of those next week.
And as a child somebody who grew up loving gremlins as a child, I can't wait to have my childhood reconfigured. But in the meantime, you can find us on social media. We are on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok. All of the links are in the link tree, which is down in the show notes. If you'd like to communicate with us via email, please do so, cheapsmutpod@gmail.com. As always, there is a link to this book in the show notes. It is not an affiliate link. We never get any money for this. We're just trying to help the authors out. If you would like to support us financially, you can do so on Ko-fi, which is down in the show notes. Real quick shout out. One of our first Patreon patron of all time recently donated. I'm pretty sure it was Rebecca K.
It was.
Rebecca K. We just want to shout you out. We know that you are one of our longest tenured and most quiet and socially media averse as far as I know.
Yeah.
Listeners, we know that you are rather somewhat proximal to us. We know that. But we know nothing about you, but we just want to say that we always know who you are, and we know that you've been there since the beginning. So just a quick shout out to Rebecca K. If you want to join Rebecca K in supporting the show financially on Ko-fi right now, and you did not do so before on Patreon, any donation will get you access to some of the 9 Patreon bonus episodes that are still out there that we never want to show, we never want to put out on the main line. But if you want to access them, they are there for you. The music that you hear in this and every episode is called Storytime by me, Max Joy.
Listener, remember, if there is a book in you, write it. And if there's fucking in it, I'll read it.
And then she'll come on this show and explain it to me for your entertainment.
I'm going to go sit on the couch. Bye.